welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to be levelling up our Betterpress game and learning how to create a template of our own. So you might have seen previous videos where I've used a template included in the Betterpress to line up the plates in special ways to create a picture, but this time we're going to create our own. So we're going to use this Windy Fall Leaves Betterpress of the Month for September from Spellbinders, and you can see it does actually come with a template, so you could do it like this and have all the leaves to kind of like cover your 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card blank, but we're going to make our own. So to do that, I'm going to use some just copier paper, and I want to make a wreath, so I'm going to just draw around this bowl so that I get like a circle to work with. And this is a 5 by 5 inch piece of copier paper I've got here, by the way. And then I'm going to lay the leaves on here, and I'm going to draw around onto the copier paper. So I'm happy that this one's going to go slightly off the edge. And you could, if you wanted them in certain colours and you know which colours you want, do this in different colours so that you know which ones you want to use at the same time. But for now, I've not decided on colours, so I'm going to do it all in black. So there's my first one. I'm going to start with the big ones, and then I'm going to kind of like make my way downwards towards the smaller ones. And you do need to remember that this is going to be flipped once it's on your Betterpress plate. So this one will end up in this corner, for example. So I think that's fine with the leaves because they don't need to be a certain way. If you're working with something that needs to be a certain way, then you need to remember that it's going to be flipped. And I want to overlap them a bit as well. So I'm going to grab my Betterpress and I'm going to just add this on with a bit of my Best Ever Craft tape. Keep it in place. Then I'm going to grab a piece of the Betterpress cardstock and lay that over there. Then I'm going to roll up a couple of pieces of this. I'm going to put it on here. And then I'm going to use my top plate, press it down over there and pick that up in the right place. So then I know that whenever I put this on here, it's going to be in the right place. So then I'm going to grab some of these. I'm going to put them over the areas that I've put onto here. And I'm kind of just picking up some random ones because I don't really want the colours to be in a pattern as such. I want them to be a bit random, but I also don't want ones next to each other with the same colour. So I'm going to use Melted Butterscotch, Toasted Mauve, Eucalyptus and Amber Blaze Fresh Dye Inks from autumnal. I'm going to go in with this Melted Butterscotch first. I'm just going to ink those up. And then I'm going to pop that through my die cutting machine. So there's our first layer. So now I can remove these ones. And I might just put a little X in the middle of the ones I've done just so that I can keep track. Although to be fair, I've only used each of them once, so I could just put them to one side. So then these ones I'm going to do in the eucalyptus. And then I'm going to put this back over and back through my die cutting machine. So then we've got that layer. And then I'm going to add on these ones. I'm going to do those in the Toasted Mauve. I'm going to do these two with the Amber Blaze. So then we've got our wreath, and I think that looks really cool. Then this looks a mess, but you can still see all the outlines, so you could use this again and again if you wanted to. So then the glimmer of the month for this month is this gorgeous set of words, and this thanks that I'm going to use on here is my favourite. So you've got thanks, and then you've got for being a friend, for lending a hand, you've got all I can say is, and then obviously use the thanks below. This card is full of thanks, and then you'd have thanks for having a big heart. I'm just going to use the thanks on its own for this, and you can see I've hot foiled it in gold onto the same brown cardstock as I'm using for this mat here. And I just think the font's really gorgeous. So I've used a 5.5-inch square card blank made from sage cardstock. And then this is 4 5/8 inches square. I've cut that down and you can see I've cut out most of that mistake that I made in this corner as part of the process. And then this piece is 4 3/4 inches. So I'm going to glue those together, add them to my card and add the thanks across. And then I'm going to use some foam strips behind the thanks. So then we've got our card with that lovely shine. And I think if I was going to bulk make this card, I'd probably colour these in with the colours that I want so that it was easier to put the leaves in the right place each time. But like I said, even though that looks a mess, it can still be used again and again. So I really hope that you enjoyed creating this card with me. If you did, I'd appreciate you clicking like below, and you can also press subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you that I've got a new video available. All of the products that I've used for today's cards are listed in the description below, and there's also a link there to my blog where you can find a picture supply list if that helps you find what you're looking for. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.